$8. Yeah, I just got gas. Yep. But it buffered before then, and the timer was on forever, so I knew it was going to require a restart. So I just waited till after I got gas. There's a couple guys probably freezing their ass off on motorcycles. Yeah, you're welcome. Graphic sign and design. Do you do that kind of stuff? Graphic stuff? Yeah, I was only like a couple minutes at the gas station, so I just waited to restart it. I headed home, about 38 miles from home. Oh, what'd you think of the Native American interviews? Yeah, she's sleeping on the back seat. She was sleeping on my leg all the way to the gas station. Hey, Rachel. No, man, my back hurt like hell. I could barely make it around the other side to wash the windshield. I guess I'll hook that TENS unit up when I get home. It's right when you like stand up all the way. Hey Fidel, how you doing? Oh good, yeah, interesting people. I mean, that's a hell of a problem out there. Yeah, it's hard to believe, you know, that I could like be around so long and not know this. I mean, I knew there was a problem with like homelessness and alcohol, but they're just everywhere out there. And I always thought a reservation was like a good deal. Yeah, something's off at the store, believe me. I'll hook that TENS unit up when I get home. I've had that TENS unit for a while. I've bought them for people before too. Man, I've turned that thing on too high sometimes, and it spasms the muscles so bad I couldn't reach the thing to turn it off. I'm not kidding you. I don't know if that walking, I think that's wives' tale stuff. I need somebody to inject it with a muscle relaxer. You can get a really good one on Amazon for like $35, and then you buy like, you know, 50 more of those sticky things. Hey, Louisiana girl, how you doing? Hey Mary, they sell a lot of those though at that drugstore? Yeah, I got a lot more stuff to upload, but I'm going to dole it out slowly because I don't want to bore you to death. The Glacier, Yellowstone, a lot of driving videos. Hey, I'm curious, I'm glad you brought that up because usually when I add music to a video, it's for a reason. And the reason is mostly because of the ambient noise. Air blowing by, road noise, rattles in the van, and sometimes it's copyrighted music playing in the background, which they'll really burn you for. But if, let's say I had a video of driving across Montana in the open road, would you rather have music or just the sound of the windows down and the air going by? Which one? Yeah, Charlie is a good guy. Hey, Golek, how you doing? Oh, happy birthday, Louisiana girl. No music, really, huh? Are you sure about that now? I mean, are you saying this because you've watched videos and you just didn't like the music, or it just sounds like a good idea now? Yeah, I don't speak on most of those, hardly any of them, you know. Now, when I'm doing a live like this with my phone, that's different. But usually I keep my mouth shut when I'm just doing a driving video. $50-50, all right. Hey, Dimebag, how are you? All right, Al, try them out. I'll do it that way. Honestly, it's a pain in the ass to add music. It's a double upload then. Rather than just uploading it from the SD card right to YouTube, or from an external hard drive to YouTube, I gotta upload it to the software program, editing program, and then I've got to mute it and then lay music over the top. So it's double the work. So it's a lot easier to me to not to put music on it. Hey Mary, how you doing? You still full? No, I do pretty simple editing. The only reason I do any editing at all is to wipe out road noise, add music to something. Like if I just showed you still photographs in the inside of a vacant building, I don't have a problem adding music to that. Or to splice clips together, or to take something out of a clip. You know, like somebody says something crazy. But I don't like adding titles and transitions, and it all looks really cheap and cheesy, so I don't do a lot of editing. But it's very easy. I never did editing, you know, until I did this, and it sucks learning it. But once you kind of get the hang of how the editing programs are laid out, and you look at one at the beginning, you're thinking, how in the hell does this work? If you were thinking of doing it, you could get the same kind I have, and I could coach you on the phone how to do it. You'd be doing it in 5 minutes. But reading through the books and watching videos on how to do it is super boring. Yeah, I think so too, Lee. I think they kind of do, you know. It's unfortunate, man, those people. I mean, it's hard enough falling asleep in your own bed sometimes, let alone being outside under a tree when it's getting cold at night. There's no sleeping in for the homeless, I'll tell you that. Man, they're up at the crack of dawn. Oh, good, Klaus. Yeah, I don't beat around the bush. Yeah, it does. It sucks. And when you get down that low in the hole, you've just given up your self-worth, and you're giving blowjobs for $10 and $20 all night long, and no place to live and your life sucks, it's so much easier to stay there than it is to, it's so far away from that life to living a life what most people would consider satisfactory. It's like the perfect storm of disaster. And then you throw on heroin addiction on top of it, and it's even worse. Just witnessing people that have lost their dignity is bad enough. Yeah, I feel bad about Raven. I'm lucky I don't dwell on it, because if I did, it'd drive me nuts. I mean, I still catch myself worrying about Becky, and, you know, really, no news is good news. Yeah, you know, I really don't do that much to help them. I would if I could. But, you know, I'm not like a social worker. I'm glad I'm not. Because, you know, like I said before, if you look at all the resources out there, and the academics and the colleges and the experts, we got a bigger problem now than we've ever had. So it isn't like being educated in substance abuse or homelessness or working girls is going to get me any further down the road. So I'm just as happy. But I'm also not doing much. So it's a work in progress. I got a guy with a shit ton of money. I mean, crazy money. And he's been begging me to start a nonprofit so he can fund it. But I'm just reluctant to do that because I like keeping it grassroots. I do it because I like to. I mean, I did this for years and nobody watched any of my videos. I was fine with it. And if, you know, YouTube went out of business, I'd find someplace else to do it. It's fun. I just don't know that I want to, like, I don't know how much better that would make things. I mean, it's more money and you can buy more shit. And, I know that there'd be change, and I'm not sure what that would entail. I like just winging it. Well, it must be a lot more than I realize. I mean, I think I'm a nice guy to them, and I think some of them look forward to seeing me. But as far as really making an impact on a significant change, I don't think I'm doing that. I don't know that I'll ever do it. You know, when I started doing this, it was just curiosity on how people got there, what kept them there, and why they couldn't get out. That was it. Here's some money for your time. You know, if I could do something, let me know. That's all it ever was. It wasn't like, you know, I was out to save the world. I mean, I think everybody watching would like to save them too. It's just not easy. And they gotta get help, you know what I mean? This winter I'm gonna really buckle down on this and at least give a shot at a better But you guys know how it is. I mean, if you pull somebody from a burning building, I mean, you really did something. If you save somebody from drowning, yeah, okay, yeah, I saved them from drowning. I'm glad I was there to do it. But what I'm doing is really kind of like a, you know, not anything bad. Maybe a little good, but it isn't like some big life changer success story. The people that have got out of there that are doing well did it before they knew me. I haven't been instrumental in getting anybody out of there. The one thing I do feel decent about, and that was that pitch that I gave Raven. So I'd have felt a lot worse if I'd never got to tell her that. So she could have said yes, she didn't. But I mean, it still sucks. She's not around any longer. I really have a confidence with like people like Raven. Honest to God, my heart of hearts, I really think I did everything I could. I really do. I don't think there's anything that I'm held off on or, put off and should have said it earlier. I don't. I don't. If itself, I would do the same thing. She was hit by a car. I can only imagine. They have no self-worth. I mean, if you listen to that one interview with Katie, said she hates sex, and that's her sole source of. Okay. Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah. If you're down there on a weekend, you'd wonder why everybody isn't hit and killed by now. Tons of uninsured people, drugs, drinking, people with nothing. Just crazy people down there driving like nuts all night long. Believe me, if you were down there for a weekend or Friday and Saturday, you'd wonder how Becky's still alive and not got hit by a car. I mean, it's like the worst scenario possible. Just crazy everything. It's not like you're in, San Mateo, California, in a nice neighborhood, safe. I'm not sure on the dumped part. I don't know. I'm going to get a copy of that police report. I just haven't done that yet. You can never really believe what you hear on the streets. When I read the police report, I'll find out. I don't know if that's true or not, because as far as I know, that was just being treated as a hit and run. It wasn't being treated as hit or killed and then dumped somewhere else. As far as I know. Trip out west was great. Had a good time. Yep. Yeah, Raven, I miss her too. That was back in May 6th. Yeah, there you go, air cool. Yeah, I really liked Raven. I really did. But honestly, I never thought Raven was going to get out of there once. I mean, I hope she was, but I never got that vibe. just too far gone. Part of it was she didn't have any place to go to. I know her. That's definitely a high risk position to be in. Yeah, time. I mean, she had topless danced and then, started doing that. Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like they like talking, but I don't know that for sure. Yeah, I may need help. The problem is finding them sometimes. But Daisy likes riding in, and I'll just take it out for that trip. Otherwise, I don't know I'll be able to fit everything in. What people could do is maybe help me get a hold of these people on their Facebook and stuff, and let them know I'm coming, so I don't end up, I can meet them with the stuff rather than just depending on randomly running into them. I ask them off camera all the time. I tell every single one of them, it's like, look, you can call me if something happens and you need to get out of here. I'll come down in the middle of the night and get you. You want to go to rehab and you need a ride. I do tell them all that. I mean, I told Raven, you can go back and watch the old interview. We can go down to Indiana now, up to the UP. Let's go right now. See, what they're afraid of, it's this goddamn heroin addiction. And they're afraid of being dope sick. And they realize what a complex problem it's going to be to just be going down the road 3 or 6 hours away and needing heroin and not having it. That's what keeps them there. I'm sure I'd have a much better batting average if I... Yeah. Yeah, how you doing, Mina? How you doing? I mean, this fan runs so good. You see why I don't want to get rid of it? Doesn't burn any oil. Fit a bunch of stuff, a beast in the winter. I mean, it's not the greatest looking van, but I don't really care. This thing's a tank. Yeah, it really is a tank. I have my winter snow tires. See, part of the reason I took that trip is I got about 10,000 miles. I had about 10,000. Now I got about 10,000 miles left on these tires. And I didn't want to rotate them anymore. And I'd rather just throw them out when I put my winter ones on. But you know how you don't want to get rid of tires that still have tread. I also definitely don't want to drive around on them in the winter. That's why I have winter snow tires. Then I can just get a brand new set in the spring. You know, when I came home Thursday night, I hit a skunk. Kind of felt bad. It looked like it might have got hit first. I'm not sure. Spray. My van still smells like skunk. You know, it was right in the middle of the road. You know how sometimes it's a split second and you see it, and my immediate thought was just keep on going. Do not swerve. Because he was right in the middle of the road. Wasn't moving. And sure as shit, when I got right over the top, I heard a big conk. And this van is high, which is why I thought that was the best thing to do. I could have never stopped in time. But I don't know what that part of the van would have hit that damn thing, because the skunk's pretty low and this van's pretty high. But I heard a big noise. And my van still smells like skunk, so the poor thing was able to get one last big giant squirt on my undercarriage. Actually, it'll be right up here where I'm getting off. It's probably still in the middle of the road unless something is eating. Felt bad hitting it. See, I can smell that sulfur smell from these damn oil wells. They always try and sell these oil wells as they don't make any noise, there's no smell. You know, you're going to get all this revenue. That's a bunch of bullshit. Those things smell like hell. It wasn't. I hate doing that though. It'll be right up here, not too far. Right in the middle of the road. I remember seeing the cops had somebody pulled over further down the road, and I guess I was looking at that more. Plus, I was, coming back from that trip, was kind of tired. It's like right up here someplace. Maybe down a little farther. Let's see if there's any of it left. It wasn't a bump like the tires ran over it. Maybe it got scared and jumped up or something, I don't know. But it made like a big bong sound. It was right around here. To tell you the truth, I thought it was a back in the road. It was right around here. I mean, I'd like to think the damn thing survived, but I think that's a fantasy. Yeah, just because I don't see it, it's probably, all this stuff doesn't last long. It's out here working on it. And there's not much traffic here. I mean, really, I was probably doing 55. You wouldn't think that thing could squirt like that in that 2 seconds I was over it, but it did, man. It still smells like skunk. So this is downtown West Branch. It's another speed trap. All these towns are like this. I don't care where you're at. I guess I shouldn't call it a speed trap there. But if you're from out of town, you're definitely getting a ticket. See, now this guy right here obviously isn't from here. They sit right up here near the funeral home a lot. And up here in the hospital parking lot. They use handheld, hiding behind bushes and stuff. Most of the out west towns have these electronic displays that show you how fast you're going. I mean, if you're really trying to slow down traffic, that's the way to do it. If you're trying to make revenue, you're better off hiding in the bushes. See, that cop just heard that guy floor it. Right here. See, there's this cop, man, you better put on your blinker if you're turning, buddy. Atta boy. See him hauling ass? The guy was in a Charger and really floored it. He's going to try and sneak up behind him. I hope the guy that owns the golf course didn't call it quits. I saw them packing stuff out in his house today and a for sale sign in front. I hope this COVID didn't finish him off. Ah, damn it. You know what I forgot? I gotta get Daisy a hamburger. I got a new neighbor. 2 new neighbors, really. I haven't met him yet. I've been lucky with neighbors since I've lived here. Daisy, I forgot to get you a hamburger, hon. I forgot to get you a hamburger, honey. I like this architectural lighting on this Lutheran church. Really looks good at night. Motorhome right there was parked at the state police post. Wonder what the hell he's doing. Well, it must be after 9 o'clock. Walgreens is closed. I'm gonna smoke this motorhome with this power. Yeah. Oh, 927, thanks. Yeah, that's kind of how this town is, yeah. Yeah, well, I did give her stuff, a little bit of stuff earlier, but not enough, I don't think. With this damn COVID bullshit, it's back to 1950. If you don't do your shopping by 8 o'clock or go out to eat by 7, you're screwed. Now, some of the fast food places are open down here. But hell, I used to go to Walmart 3 in the morning if I felt like it. A couple clerks have told me that they said that Walmart has said they're never going to be open 24 hours again. It's not true. Even these liquor stores close early, like this one. See, there's a state trooper right there. You try and nail me from that bullshit distracted driving crap. Oh, are they, Lee? Yeah, yep, P.O. Box is the same, yep. They just renewed it, actually. See, the reason I renewed my P.O. Box, I didn't want to, but if all that stuff was stacked out on my porch, it... Our Walmart closes at 8:30. You know, I went and got an Arby's last night. I hardly ever get them, but it was kind of different for a change. You know, they actually cooked that roast beef there. Can you believe it? That Culver's is really doing a hell of a business. Home Depot closes early. A lot of places don't have the lobby open up north.
Hi, my name is Kata. How can I help you?
Yeah, can I get a plain hamburger, please?
Just a plain hamburger?
Yep.
All right, you get your first one. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I mentioned to you guys before, you know, my sister was the first single female owner of McDonald's franchise. And this was her first store here. They were having $1,000 hours in 1978. It's a huge moneymaker. Still like in the top 5 stores in the state. If you own a McDonald's in a good location, you get rich. If you own one in a small town that's low volume, you basically bought yourself a job. How you doing? Thank you. Yeah, tomato juice. Yeah, I've used that on dogs before. Yeah. Thank you. Yep. There's a guy behind me. He's got a squeaky fan belt. Hey, Amina, how you doing? See, Tim Hortons closed. I'll tell you, this big boy's really taking a hit around here, I think. No, she got super rich. She had 5 killer stores. Then she had a spoiled kid that spent all the money, eventually got him thrown out of McDonald's, and they all filed for bankruptcy about 4 years ago. I got a nephew with 9 kids that can barely read or write because he claimed that he homeschooled them. And really all the kid did was screw around and drink energy drinks all night playing video games. Serious. Yeah, and I'm not kidding you. She was literally a rags to riches story. Her husband got shot about a year after she was married accidentally. Him and a buddy fooling around with guns. And she worked as a telephone operator and got a management job. And then at the time, McDonald's didn't have any minorities or single females that owned franchises. So there was just money all over the place. So basically, she got a loan with no credit for like a crazy dollar amount and got lucky with the locations, paid the loans off in no time, was just printing money. She was pulling out about 650 grand a year 30 years ago. But her kids spent it all. Yeah, it was no parenting. She was a terrible parent. Thank you.
Hamburger, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Just a spoiled brat. You know, I mean, I don't know what the deal is. You know, you could argue that, well, he didn't have a dad and she overdid it. But there's people that, you know, lose their spouse and the kids grow up fine. All as I know is that it didn't work. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine get scammed out of $3 million. The FBI is about ready to, the DOJ is going to issue indictments, but it cost him about his life savings. No shit, about $3 million. Financial advisor, business partner. Yeah, no kidding. You know, these real good con artists, they're so good at what they do that that's how they get into these people's wallets. I mean, it's not like some guy coming across and or some girl, and in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh, they seem like a bullshitter. There are people out there with this gift of making you feel honored to be a part of their lives and believing everything they say. I mean, look at it. Watch that show, American Greed. Look at Madoff, for God's sakes. And, you know, they're smart about it. They set it up kind of like a Ponzi scheme. So for the first year of the honeymoon period, you're just telling all your friends, you're helping them get screwed too. And that's how you lay the groundwork. You give these unrealistic returns and these bullshit stories. Yeah, lots of them. I mean, look at these guys that prey on older women. It must not be the same problem with older men, because usually the stories you see, it's women. Look at Art Schleicher, the old Ohio State football quarterback. Shit, he built 2 or 3 women out of the university. So I moved down to Florida in '92, and I was down there about 3 years, and I read an article from the Orlando Sentinel that he had shafted some psychologist, some PhD that was a college professor and had a private practice, and bilked her out of all her money. And he ended up going to prison for it. But here he was all those years later, still screwing people, and mainly women. And the same with Art Schleicher. And it just, God, man, I want to say it's hard to believe, but it happens all the time. You know, they keep saying Epstein made it through a Ponzi scheme, but, you know, they say he wasn't as rich as the media portrays him to be. I don't really know what the deal is on that. Whether he had a lot of money for sure, whether it was all... They say Trump's not worth that much money. And neither's this guy that is on this show where he goes around and evaluates your businesses. The guy that owns Camper World. They say he's a scammer too. It just hasn't caught up with him yet. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know he's being sued by somebody for some kind of bullshit. That doesn't mean it's legit. You know, when I first moved down to Florida, down near West Palm Beach, I had a guy give me a tour of Palm Beach. And, you know, it's one... Look at real estate. Go on Zillow and look at the homes in Palm Beach, Florida. I mean, it's like crazy wealth. It's like one of the top zip codes in the world for wealth. I mean, it's just crazy money. And I remember him telling me at the end of the tour, like, here's Rush Limbaugh's house, here's the Kennedy compound, you know, here Rod Stewart owns the place. And at the end of the thing, when we were leaving, he said, do you realize how many people have been fucked by the people that own these homes? He said, do you really think you end up having all this shit by being honest aboard? And I thought, geez, I used to think you did. There's probably an element of truth to that. Ray Kroc, secretary, had a place over there. I ran into Rod Stewart there one night on the beach, kicking a soccer ball. I never saw any of the Kennedys. I was at the tail end of that, though. Daisy, you're not getting. Daisy wants the bun now. You got the hamburger, hon. You're not getting the bun, though. That make you fat, honey. Hear her crying. She wants the bun.